here we are. I suppose, you know, each and every one of us, you know, has got a decision to make. You know, we've got to look back at ourselves in the mirror and say, what are we going to do? You know, how are we going to act? Because we cannot act and behave the way we have. Look where we are. You know, the people who are fitting well at this time, you know, who have not succumbed to this chemical and biological attack. I mean, who's going to look after the injured? Who's going to look after the people who can't walk anymore? Who are going to be bedridden? You know, this society has changed. Our whole futures, whatever we thought they were 4 years ago, is gone. And the cognitive dissonance that we're experiencing as a country and as a nation, you must snap out of it with reality. You must go and look at facts. You must go and look at different voices. You must decide for yourself to gain different sources of information that are accurate, because it's out there in a tsunami deluge. But you must make the decision that you are going to find out the truth for yourself, for your survival and for your children. You've got to break out of the trance that you've been put under, like on the Jungle Book with Mowgli, with the serpent singing to him. These people they don't look evil. They are deceivers, and they are experts, and they have supernatural help and guidance in beguiling us. Lambs to the slaughter is what they say, and we are just waiting for the emergence of the catastrophe that these people have done and perpetrated. They believe that they'll be out of office, they'll be gone, they'll be well paid. Everyone gets well paid for this. Even the angels, so-called, from Macmillan, you know, you can hear the angels singing, you know, and they come. The top executives, they get hundreds of thousands of pounds in money, in wages. This is not done from love. I had the only intervention I've come across with Macmillan. I've seen the adverts. I know how Florence Nightingale-ish it all comes across. And my poor auntie, my Auntie Molly was desperately ill. She'd had Alzheimer's for ages, I didn't even know. And she was passing away, she was terminally ill, and Macmillan had been going in, while I found out when she only had days to live. You know, when I rushed round, I went and seen my auntie. I loved her dearly. And the lady was there from Macmillan, my auntie was upstairs, and I spoke to her. I said, what's been going, you know, what is the problem? And she explained, oh, you know, she is going to pass, you know, within the day. I said, oh, well, what from what? You know, and she named all these, it was cancer, and she had dementia. I said, well, do you not know about any treatments? I said, have you not been treating her for this, you know, killer disease? And she didn't have a clue what I was talking about. There are therapies and treatments going back 100 years, 90 years. That's something else that's been hidden from you, that's been occulted from you. Because the hospital establishments get paid £30,000 for you to submit to chemotherapy. It's not free. It's not free. What they need is willing people who have been beguiled to go and queue up and take toxic chemicals from them that they know are going to make them ill somewhere down the road. Yeah, it may get rid of a little symptom here and there, but whoa, there's a price to pay, and you will pay it, because these people are evil, and they are not in the business of going out of business. They are in the business of expanding business, and your illness is their business, and your illness will expand unless you wake up. We are surviving a biological chemical attack that has been formulated worldwide, through worldwide organisations, through CDCs, through biochemical factories, through our governments, through our... remember when the Invaders was on, with David Vincent, and he was chasing these invaders, these aliens around. No one would believe him until they had to show the face, they had to show the reality. I remember as a little boy, 10 years of age, quaking at the invaders. My goodness, I think it might have been true. These people are not from here. They don't have your interests at heart. They don't even like the planet. You've got massive factories and machines to suck carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. Can you believe that? Google it, it's true. Nothing grows without carbon dioxide. That's a massive big lie. That's a massive big eugenics lie. Everything thrives in carbon dioxide. Thousands of years ago, the carbon dioxide and the oxygen levels were much higher than they were in the past. It's been decreasing over the last couple of thousand years. That's why we've decreased in size. That's why everything used to be huge when we had carbon dioxide. When everything, the plants are dead without it. You're dead without it. The wildlife is dead without it. Your crops are dead without it. What are we doing with carbon dioxide? These are the same people who put the concoction together. That's killed all these people. It's the same people. The bees are dying, are going extinct. The species going extinct every day. You think we're not a species? We are going extinct. But we've got the capacity to do something. Our children are being maimed and mauled and destroyed while we sit passively by. Like the Generation game. We've been it with atrazine. I hope you've had a look. I hope that you've Googled it, and I hope you've done your research, because they foisted this on my generation. And they added it to the food. They sprayed it on the crops. They sprayed it all over the place. And and why did they do that? Why was it that particular chemical? Because of its effects. That's why. This didn't just drop out of the sky. This didn't just drop out of nowhere. This was formulated by evil scientists, by evil people with unlimited wealth. Because they've got an agenda. They believe that there's too many people. They believe they are godlike people, and that they are just, culling the herd. That's what they say. That's the term they use. You think you use cattle as animals. So when they got this formulation and it had been tested, it had been trialled, like they did with the haemophiliacs, given all those blood aids in the blood supply, and the emails back and forward that were released. I hope you've read them, so you get a handle on these people. There's tens of thousands of people, haemophiliacs, dead, and they knew, and they were laughing about it back and forward on the emails. You can go and read them. And they say, oh, the haemophiliacs, yeah, there's too many of them anyway. Yeah, this is who you're dealing with. These are not like you. Would you do that? I don't think so. These people get well paid for it and are happy to do it. And they get elevated for it. And they get promoted for it. And they get big houses and big boats and airplanes for it. Because they are evil. The word of God says, it says the love of money is the root of all evil. These people love money. Money's not a bad thing. It's the love of it that creates evil. These chemicals that what they found to their astonishment is that these chemicals can transmute your sexuality. That they attack in the womb, and they alter you biologically, chemically, and your sexual orientation is disrupted. It's like throwing a bomb in there. Your biological makeup makes a Swiss watch look like 5 house bricks banging together. Such is the precision. Have you ever looked inside a human cell? Just Google or YouTube inside a human cell. I've done it and I've showed people in the past, and I've paused it on the screen and called them in and said, well, yeah, what do you think this is? And I've pressed play, and they're looking at it and it looks like a high-tech factory. It has conveyor belts, it has stacker trucks, it has doors that open and close. That's one human cell. You've got 70 trillion of them. There are 70 trillion human cells that go to create the man who's speaking to you now. And you've got the same amount, you who are listening to this. Try and imagine all those factories. Well, those factories need deliveries. They're not there for a laugh. They're there to produce something. They're there to produce biochemicals. They're there to produce enzymes. They're there to produce an immune system. They're there to produce you in all your complexity and in your amazement. And those cells are waiting for deliveries to come that you're supposed to, with your intelligence and with your information and with your knowledge, you are supposed to provide to those 70 trillion factories that make up what you are. And when you do that, what the end result of that is health. The end result of that is vitality. The end of that is you being optimum for what you can be. Not bent over, not crippled, not arthritic, not demented, not cancerous. You were created to produce health and vitality and strength. And what we've ended up with is illness and disease. Because the truth has been hidden from every one of us. These chemicals that they foisted on our generation, they change males into females biologically. Can you take that in? That's another bit of an occult knowledge that's been called forth. Because the Word of God says that all these things are going to be brought into the light so that you can know what you're up against, so you can make an informed, intelligent decision on whether you should bow the knee to your Creator and accept His remedy, which is His Son. His name is Jesus, by the way, and He hung on a cross for you. They killed Him and all. They kill everyone that tells the truth. He is your door. He is your way out. And you must go check. Can you imagine a male growing a uterus? Can you imagine a male physically transforming into a female to such an extent that their voices change, that their mannerisms change, that they can actually physically give birth through a chemical? Well, it's all published. It's all fact. There is video of this. And it lasts for generation, and it passes on for generation after generation after generation. There's another chemical that's just come out because of this information and all that. These people are so fast moving, and the Bible says that their hands never cease from their minds never cease from plotting evil. And another one that's just come out because of that. There's a lot of things I avoid. I try to get to those 70 trillion cells that I know I've got. As many as the deliveries that they're hoping to get, so I can have a remnant of health. These people know this. These people who have devised this health system, they know how to create health, but they're not in the business of creating health. They're in the business of creating money, because they are evil. It's just a step on the ladder to see you distressed, to see you beholden to them. It gives them joy. It gives them a sense of power and elitism, that they are superior to you, that they have knowledge you don't have, that you are a child, that you are incapable of making a wise decision. Prove them wrong. Go and check out some of these sources. What I've just put here. Go and see what atrazine does. Go and watch the videos like I've done. Go and realise that we've been infected with it, and they've just come out with a new one that's just been published. They've been doing this for years. I have a bowl of porridge every morning. I've done for years. Enjoy it. Supposed to be good for you. You think of the bottle of Scotch porridge oats. You see the big guy there tossing the caber in his kilt, built like a barn door. Think of Andy Stewart in his kilt, buzzing round on the swords. You think of the Highlander, Mel Gibson. This is Scotland. These are the images that it's supposed to portray. The mountains, Ivanhoe, all of that stuff. You think, well, what to do? Oh, they love porridge, they all eat porridge, Scotch porridge, so we all want to eat porridge. It's good for us. Told you on the telly. Oh, it's just come out now that they've been spraying the oats, and they've been spraying the fields and the wheat and the seeds with another chemical that's published in the Evening Standard in the newspaper for you to read. You probably won't have read it or seen it. They don't put this on the news. You have to go looking for this. That's why I was saying before, change your sources of information. And it said that the chemical was called chloroquat, and they sprayed it over everything. And they've done tests in America on the urine of people, and over 80% of the people in America, think of how many people that is, please, just for a minute. 80% of all the people in America whose urine, they tested the urine. Yeah, and they all had traces of this chloroquat in it. What does chloroquat do? Oh, well, it makes you infertile, for a start, all published. It messes with your gender. It messes with your hormones. And this is what we're seeing with the young people. We're seeing them confused. We're seeing their identity trying to be normalised, because what they're trying to do is normalise a biological weapon attack that has been foisted not just on the dads and the granddads, but now foisted on the children. Cheerios is a main one that they've got. I mean, you just remember they say it was good for the heart. Yes, soaked in chemicals that are going to make your children and yourself infertile, are going to wreck the hormonal system, is going to affect them in every way possible. And the oats, and the flour, and the wheat. Who created this? Who created this bomb? Why would anyone put that together and then think, oh, okay, here's a good idea. We'll spray it on all the food and feed it to all the people, so they'll be infertile. So all the hormonal system will be destroyed. Who would come up with such a diabolical idea? Well, these bloodlines will. These evil entities will, because what the Bible informs you is, he said, the life is in the blood. The life is contained within the blood. And that's why these people have maintained that bloodline right from when these entities left. That was their sacred duty, and they report to them, and they give account to them through generation after generation, and they intermarry, and they keep that evil blood within a certain group, and on and on and on it's gone. You know, there was when Barack Obama became the president in America, the euphoria, you know, the man who started more wars than any other president, who bragged about he was really good at killing people with drones. You know, remember that Barack Obama, the one who got the Peace Prize? Well, a young girl in a high school was so delighted that they had the first president of colour, you know, that she'd done a genealogy on Barack Obama and started off and spread it out, and my goodness, she ended up, she's gone back, but I can't remember, 20, 30 odd American presidents, or all of them, and every one of them were related. Every one of them were related to our royal family.
Well, first we start off with George Washington at the top, and then it goes to John Adams, Thomas Jefferson.
11-year-old Bridget Dovigneau says she's made a first-of-its-kind discovery that President Obama and all the presidents before him, with the exception of one, are related and descendants of a former king of England.
No, they are all cousins, and they're grandsons of John Lackland.
He said, this is incredible. That's just United States. That's how evil is now destroying America, because evil entities are in control that look like people. You've seen Joe Biden. They look normal to you. They are everywhere. Boris Johnson does Chris Whitty look normal to you? These people are entities. They are moved by evil, and they are deploying their agencies and their DEFRA and their agencies that they've created, that they've conned us into trusting for some strange and stupid reason that when they say something's okay, then it's okay. Well, it's not okay. These people are evil. These institutions are evil. They will say whatever they're told to say because they carry the same evil DNA. They are all family. Have you ever seen the First World War? What they done to our granddads? I'd like you to go and have a look. There were millions and millions. I don't know how many died within one day on the Somme. I had relatives and stuff that died. As soon as they got out the trench, they were dead. Thousands and tens of thousands of them. These incompetent, bloodline psychopaths just blowing the whistle. And these poor men and women, did you see them? The pals, they call them. And the whole villages, people who'd worked in the fields and were honest, rosy-cheeked, bought that crap. And they marched off and all the girls were waving out the windows and blowing them kisses and all that as they got on the trains and got blown to bits. Never came home. The memorials are in every town. Think on these things. These kill, they steal and destroy. And they are destroying this generation. They are destroying their sexuality. They are teaching them filth. They are bringing them up to be confused so that they can't make a stand anywhere. They don't even know what sex they are. When we done the other video with Dr. Money, wow, a doctor like Dr. Shipman, psychopath, bloodline man, money no object, evil no object. This guy's specialised in gender transformation. He coined the term gender transformation. Gender didn't exist. The word didn't exist. It's taught in the schools now. This evil psychopath who sexually abused children, him and his friends, who castrated and mutilated a little boy and destroyed his life so he could authenticate a book and then lied about the results of what he'd done to that little boy. That psychopath. His name was Money. We just had a look before at how many genders are being touted now to our young children, and there are different numbers. They were in the hundreds. They're teaching this to children. Hundreds of genders. Rainbow schools. Teaching pornography to the children. Because somehow or other, they've got to try and normalise the effects of these chemical attacks that they've perpetrated. They've got to make us think that it's normal. They've got to get the victims to stand up and scream that we're being like homophobic or claustrophobic or antiseptic or racist or whatever, any stupid madcap slogan these people can come up with that you will accept and parrot and adopt. That they'll spit back at someone that is informing them that they've been attacked. No, we don't look down. No, we don't hold it against them. We're here to help. We're here to stretch out a hand. You're a victim. I'm a victim. We're all victims. Their children have been attacked. Their chemicals have been destroyed. Their biochemicals, their hormones have been destroyed. And they now believe that there can be 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 genders. And it's taught in the schools. It's coming to a school near you, along with your new pornographic literature. Used to be Janet and John when I was a kid. No, mate. Not now. It's Are You Arthur and Martha? Everything's been rewritten. Everything's changed. The world you knew years ago was finished. Now evil has taken control. Now it's rose its head. Now it's slaughtered millions of us. Now it's getting the children. And it's down to us. How did these people, morph into these monsters that can smile while they kill tens of thousands? How can they turn up at hospital beds like David Cameron did, I seen years ago? And he was railing about the price of a I can't remember the name of the drug, it'll come to me in a minute, that sterilised little girls that come out, and he was saying we're going to bring the price down. These are horrendous individuals. Remember the thing with Lord McAlpine, with all where it reported, it was in all the papers, that he dropped his pants in a party and stuck his member in a pig's mouth. Remember all that? These are the type of people you're dealing with. They are evil people. They are sick people. They are killing people daily for pleasure. And they get promoted for it. And they get well paid for it. And our children are just being destroyed by them. And we've got to do something about it. So how did they get to be? Well, they get educated to be that way. They get brought up to be psychopaths. There is a system long tried, tested and trusted. The last 100 and odd years run from the Tavistock Institute down in London. And they run these institutes, they run these programmes, and they just bend people's brains. They bend people's minds through the TV, through the radio, through the media, and they put these people through schools. And they know that if they traumatise them, if they frighten the living daylights out of them as little children, then something happens to them psychologically. Something happens to the mind splits, and they have multiple personalities. They can be created. They can be created, and that's what these schools are for. Oxford, Cambridge, Eton, or Rugby, all these schools. And they get attacked when they go in, these young boys, and they get sexually assaulted, and they get sexually abused, and they get terrorised. And that's normal. That's not, they've all been through that education. They all know how to act. They all know how to bamboozle and mesmerise you with words. And they have been brutalised so that what you see is not what you get. What you get is illness, death and destruction from them. And your belief system is allowing that to happen, because you haven't seen the wood from the trees, but you've experienced it now. The facts are out there. These people were trained in school. They were destroyed in school as little boys and as little girls. They had their minds and their personalities just wiped away by experts, by clinicians. And then they give them suits and they give them titles and they move them into prominent positions of authority within every sphere of this country, within the health service, there's just one this morning I was listening to, and there's a club that these psychopaths attend where they burn £50 notes in front of the homeless and stuff like that for a laugh, you know. And one of them, there's a photograph of them, and there's Boris Johnson on it, there's David Cameron on it, there's Osborne on it, and all I remember him snorting the cocaine with the hookers, Osborne, that one, yeah. And there's another guy on there who's just took over a £500,000 salary job and all of that. Oh, and he's going to be touting out the new election for you. Look into it. Yeah, these people just promote one another in and out of whatever position they need. They just change the face, but the death continues. They change the titles of the positions, and the carnage continues. And it's going to continue until we rise up and we say is enough and enough is enough. We will not comply with you anymore. You are evil. And we require the judges, we require the law, we require the people who know what's right to now stand up and speak out and come alongside us and point these psychopaths out and have a system and have a country and have some sort of equity where we can live in peace, that we cannot be under attack, where people's living room doors are not being kicked in because of some psychopathic corporation. It's got to stop. It's got to come down to the judiciary. It's over to the people now to move this judiciary into action. And if it means going down to those courtrooms en masse and demanding justice for these people and for our children, and we stop these councils from implementing, because whatever money they take from us does not go back into our town. It goes back to these bloodlines. It goes back to these psychopaths. And they dole it out. And these councillors and these politicians, they go back cap in hand to see what they can beg from them. And they get that finance through implementing their policies, not ours. They get those positions from those people, not you. They just want you to put them there so they can implement their policies. They are your jailers. They are your pacifiers. They are your Macmillan nurses. The council. And they come round, paint 20 all over the road and destroy everybody's flipping day. They got paid for it. Who suggested that as being a good idea? Oh, it's carbon. Oh, right. What we all need, what we all breathe, the stuff they want to suck out of the atmosphere, that they want to bury the trees on because of. These people are psychotic. These people are psychopathic. These people are inhuman. And these people are deadly. And they've got ill will for you. They've got ill will for our children. And we've got to stand up and do something. What it is going to come down to dialogue. But something's got to happen. Something's got to change. Because the future these people have got planned for you and I is worse than your nightmare. I'm 65 now. I won't see that much of it. I'm surprised I've got this far, to be honest. But I'm not leaving this behind for me grandkids and me kids. It's a non-starter. The Birkenhead drill. It's the women and children first. We've had our go round the block, Grandad. Time to stand up for the kids. Time to stand up for the women. They've made them infertile. They've distorted the figure. Their bellies are bloated. Their attitudes are messed with. All on purpose. All with chemicals. We require a health service that divides health. And it's possible. All the information has been around for 100 years. There are therapies, there are treatments. I'm going to do a video on them next. There's hope, you know, but it comes down to you. It comes down to your will. You must possess the will to live. You know, and do you possess the will to live? Well, we'll know by your actions. You'll know by your actions. Because you'll either be freaked out, enraged, you will be poring over this information to find out whether it is true, and then you are going to be ringing your friends, you may be going to be passing these videos around, and you're going to start taking action. And we have got to come together as groups en masse, and we have got to take our towns back, we have got to take our provinces back, and we've got to have sanity to prevail. Women and children first.